Hello all, this is Nandhini, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science at Dr. SNS Rajlakshmi College of Arts and Science. Now we are going to discuss about risk management concept in software engineering. So let's we discuss. So the risk management means it involves and identifying, accessing the mitigation and monitoring risk so that may affect the success of the software development projects. So which aims to proactively identifying potential problems and implementing strategies to minimize their impact on project objectives. So the risk management means to identifying the potential problems. So this is the main point in risk management. And next one is components of risk management. So there are different types of components. There are risk identification, risk assessment, risk mitigation planning, risk monitoring and control, communication and reporting, and lessons learned. So these are the components of risk management. So let's we discuss one by one. So the first component is risk identification. So this involves identifying potential risk that may arise during the software development lifecycle, and it can be categorized into various types. So the first type is technical risk. For the example for technical risk is technology limitation and complexity. And the second type is project risk. Example of the project risk, that is budget overruns, schedule delays, etc. And the third type is organizational risk. So example for the organizational risk are resource constraints, changes in requirements. And the last type is external risk. For example, market competitions and regularity changes. So these are the risk identification points. And the second component is risk assessment. So once the risks are identified, they are assessed based on their likelihood of occurrence and potential impact on project objectives such as schedule, budget, quality, and scope. So these risks are typically prioritized based on their severity to focus mitigation efforts on the most significant threats. And the third component is risk mitigation planning. So the risk mitigation planning means after the prioritizing risk, the mitigation strategies are developed to reduce the likelihood or impact to identified risk. So these may include risk avoidance, risk transfer, such as shifting the risk to another party through the insurance, and the risk detection, so which means implementing the controls to decrease the likelihood or impact of the risk, or risk acceptance, so which means acknowledging the risk and its potential impact without taking specific actions. So these are the risk mitigation planning. So then next component is risk monitoring and control. Throughout the software development lifecycle, risks are continuously monitored to track changes in their likelihood and impact and to assess the effectiveness of mitigation measures. So the regular risk reviews and status updates are conducted to ensure that new risks are identified promptly, the existing risks are reevaluated, and mitigation. So the next component is communication and reporting. So the effective communications are essential for risk management. So both within the project team and within the key stakeholders. So the risk mitigation efforts and contingency plans should be clearly documented and communicated to ensure that all stakeholders are aware of potential threats and the measures in place to address them. And the last component is lessons learned. So after the completion of the project, a post-mortem or lessons learned session is conducted to evaluate the effectiveness of risk management efforts and to identify the areas for improvement in future projects. So this feedback loops helps organizations continuously improve their risk management practices and build instructional knowledge. So these are the components of risk management. So next one is assessment. So the first assessment is explain about risk management, and second one is list out the components of risk management. So these are the reference for risk management. Thank you.